Hello, my name is Gunur Singh, and this is my SIT 232 2.1 P task submission. And this is basically passing task question number 4 from the task sheet that I'm going to display in debug mode. So I'll just start adding my breakpoints here. And now within this here program, you can see within the main class program, I have added 4 breakpoints. The first two basically focus on before adding the fuel into the car and after adding the fuel into the car and the cost that will be there. And the second one basically focuses on the variables that will change when basically the car will drive and after the car has driven. Within my main class, basically, so these breakpoints will stem from the main to the additional class that I created. And basically within this class, we can see that the whole backend of the program takes place. So basically the main calculations and the methods are here. I'm just get to my add fuel method, which is responsible for adding fuel to the car, and the drive method here. Yeah, because within the drive method, we see whatever takes place. Let's and so be basically here. I'm just gonna point out the instant variables once. So these are 4. That is fuel efficiency. Then there's fuel, which is set to 0. Then I have miles driven, basically the distance traveled by car, that is 0. And the constant fuel cost, basically $1.385 per liter. Yeah. So these are the 4 instant variables that I created. Now let's run the program. Okay. So there's no output yet because my program did hit a breakpoint, and I can see in my locals window it says 2.2 car program. So basically an additional class was created, and now it will dive into the class here. Continue. Here basically now we see a change. That is the first change is what? The liters variable here, its value is 50. And why is it 50? Because I added about 50 liters of fuel from this add fuel function. So the value becomes 50 here. Continue. And here it displays that I added 50 liters of fuel. And we can see that, okay, in the back end, how it happened. Now let's continue again. Now I move to the function of the driving car. And here, the drive car method. Within this, I specified that the number of miles driven by car is basically 100. And then how much gallons and liters is used is not specified yet. The values are 0 because they are yet to be calculated by the method. And how those values are getting calculated, we can see here. Yeah. So let's now continue with the program. There's no changes in the output yet. See, over here, now these program change. The values were initially 0, but about 4 gallon, those they changed from 0 to 4. Basically, first thing that got calculated was how much gallons of fuel were used. And how did the program get to know? Within this here. Miles/fuel efficiency. Okay, that about 100 miles was the distance that was traveled by the car. And the mileage or the fuel efficiency in general is 25. That is set initially here, as we can see within the class. And that's why about 4 gallons of fuel was used. After that, that 4 gallons of fuel is basically converted into liters by this method, even though it's not a breakpoint, but we can see, okay, gallons into the constant function, sorry, the constant value that was given in the task sheet actually. And yeah, and then after that, cost of journey. Basically, cost of journey here is basically the liters used. That is basically the cost of the fuel, and then multiply by miles driven. Yeah, if I just continue here as well. There's still no output, but we would see it as I press, and here's it. Here's the output. The cost of journey is around $2,518 and 4.84 cents. Fuel left in the car is about this much. And actually here, there's a little bit of mistake that I made here. That is, I specified total fuel cost as liters, but it's not liters. It's actually $69.25. So that's a bit of a typo mistake that I made. Apologies for that. And if I continue this further, I guess that's it. Yeah. So yeah, this was how basically my car program ran. As you guys can see, the program's finished. I basically added a read line function at the end of the program so that the window stays, because sometimes what happens is that it runs so quickly that there's no window. The output window basically flies away. So that's why I did a read line function. Yeah, that's the whole program. And thank you for your time.